Hello, this presentation is for my app idea, Overcoming Depression One Notification at a Time. I was a firefighter paramedic for 3 years, working 24 and 48-hour shifts in the ghetto with very little sleep. Imagine the feeling when every fiber of your being wants nothing more than to fall asleep after 24 hours of mind-numbing work. And the second your eyes close, you jolt awake. Your blood pressure and pulse immediately skyrocket. It's time for another call. Between the incredible stress, awful sleep schedule, and my own insufficient coping mechanisms, I fell into a pretty serious depression, and I wasn't the only one. One of my coworkers, fire medic Tim Kaczynski, had told several coworkers about his suicidal thoughts. He even had a specific plan, and he shared it with some of the other firefighters. It was not empty talk. Tim took his life exactly the way he planned it. You would think emergency professionals would have recognized the severity of Tim's depression and gotten him help. We did not. Soon after, I resigned from the fire department. Luckily, I eventually came across your book on a recommendation. Although the suggestions and tools were relatively simple, the book was designed masterfully. The layout is very simple and uncluttered. All of the steps are broken down into very digestible portions, and the language of the book makes it clear the authors deeply understand what you are going through and they empathize with you. It's these same 3 principles I kept in mind while designing this app. Now let's look at the power this app gives us. The most difficult thing for people in depression is taking that first step. Motivation is fleeting. You finally get sick of being depressed, so you research what book to buy. One comes highly recommended, so you order it, but then you have to wait days for it to arrive. Once you receive this workbook, you have to still have the motivation to open it and start working on it and make a habit of doing it every day. Instead, you take your phone, you open the App Store, you search depression, see a highly rated app, download it, and it takes the rest from there. Now the app is always with you, not just sitting on your nightstand next to your bed. If you travel a lot, or if you're at work and feeling down and want to do an exercise or two, it's right there in your pocket. And perhaps most powerful, instead of having to remember to work on it every day and to summon the motivation to pick up that book and start working, the app can remind you and urge you to keep going. Now the best part, the power of notifications. The workbook advises you to spend about a week on each chapter, but this takes a certain amount of planning and discipline. The app measures out the portions for you and reminds you so that you stick to it. This is especially helpful for the mood calendar in the early chapters. Instead of having to remember to record your activities every 3 hours, the app checks in with you and asks how it's been affecting your mood. It also periodically screens you for depression, and if things are bleak enough, it'll suggest help. And for added motivation, you can upload a picture of a loved one or another motivating factor, and the app uses this to remind you where your priorities are. I would love the chance to sit down with you and show you everything this app can do. It's an amazing tool, and I think with your help I can make it even better. Together, we could reach millions of people with depression and help them with a click of a button.